Ellie, we're on.
Welcome back to the Chillin Killin Podcast post-show. What? We're all back. As if you didn't know who us collective group of idiots are. I'm Elm Street Ellie, Anthony versus the Evil Dead, My Bloody Valentina, Terminator Travis, Charles Lee Ray.
I got
whatever sticks.
I'm not an idiot.
And Evil Ed. What's up, guys? Let's talk about I guess comedy duos in this post show. Since if you haven't checked out, we just did Abbott and Costello meets Frankenstein. So we're kind of branching off and stemming off of that. Who wants to take the lead first?
Go with Travis.
No, go with you. Well,
okay, Simon Pegg and Nick Frost, obviously the more modern people. They've done.
I was gonna say, is there any like modern comedy duos?
No, I think comedy duos are comedy have become a lost art in today's cinema and today's entertainment. Occasionally you'll get a team up here and there. I mean, I guess Nick Frost and Simon Pegg.
They've literally done like multiple TV shows. Space
I haven't really.
Why are you yelling?
Because I'm talking. Because you guys are talking, so I'm talking.
And Martin Short.
No, they didn't do enough.
They didn't do enough.
I think it's fair to say that Nick Frost and Simon Pegg are a comedy duo.
Space literally came, like they had a TV show called Space, and then they did an episode which was zombies, and they based that off of Shaun of the Dead, and then they did Hot Fuzz, and then they did
World's End,
and then the Alien movie. Paul. They've done so many. It was to the point where they had to separate because they were just known as like the duo together.
Yeah, but what's wrong with being a comedy duo?
Staying together.
What's wrong with staying together?
Well, I didn't. Because if you want to be considered a serious actor, you eventually have to do your own thing for a while. And they did start at Space because of Resident Evil, and that's not so because there's so many people who get typecast all the time.
Here's my statement. I wasn't saying so.
Oh, okay.
I see what you were doing there, Travis.
What?
Never mind. So but why what's the problem? Why is it like a medium that just fell off? Have we just become more selfish? It has to be. What
about Key and Peele?
Yeah,
they did a bunch of stuff together too. There's duos. I just feel like we're just not paying attention to them.
But did that translate to films?
No,
I don't really think
they did a movie. I think they did Keanu.
They did do a film, yeah.
Yeah, but they didn't. Keanu, I liked, but they didn't really.
Also, Seth Rogen and James Franco did a bunch of films. I mean, they're broken up now, but they did a lot together as well.
The Rock and Kevin Hart.
No,
they've done like 3 films.
I wouldn't consider The Rock and Kevin Hart. I wouldn't even
consider and Amy Poehler.
No, yeah, them too.
Maybe I would consider them. I wouldn't even consider Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly a duo.
I was going to say that. But they've only,
together.
How many movies have they done?
3.
I feel like if you've done 3, you've
Step Brothers, Talladega Nights, and the new one, Sherlock.
Oh, that was the worst movie I've ever seen. But okay.
The worst movie.
I wouldn't consider Rock and Kevin Hart. They're just 2 guys they're just big stars that just came together. Yeah. That's like saying Arnold Schwarzenegger or Danny DeVito.
Is there?
But they only did one film.
Oh, you know, Twins 2 is coming out.
Triplets.
With Tracy Morgan.
Yeah, it's originally supposed to be Eddie Murphy, but I guess he dropped out.
Yeah. Do you guys? So what? Anybody want to chime in? Why this is not a thing anymore?
Adam Sandler and his gaggle of people.
It just seems like the entertainment. What about Adam Sandler?
She called him a gaggle. It's a great word.
Yeah. Oh, sorry,
yeah, but like,
funny.
It's funny. I was thinking Adam Sandler and Drew Barrymore. They've done like fucking 4 movies.
That's like saying Meg Ryan and Tom Hanks.
Sleepless in Seattle is a comedy.
They did another movie together. I know it was that.
You Got Mail.
You Got Mail.
Yeah,
Yeah.
comedy.
Yeah, but those are romantic films. But
yeah.
but like if you're a comedy, usually if you're together, it's because you guys want to be together. It's not. I mean, I can see The Rock and Kevin Hart not being
and the heart.
I can see that being a thing, but then they also actively, I think, asked to be together as well.
Yeah. I don't know. I think but I don't. Why is it not a thing anymore?
It's to me, it just seems more like two single actors occasionally get together for movies instead of being an actual duo. Like
Will Ferrell, Mark, and
Marky Mark,
Mark Wahlberg, yeah, Marky Mark.
Why don't like? But even in comedy, there's like no real like duos anymore.
I don't know. It's just that everyone feels like in order to stand out, we got to be a singles act. It seems to be a big thing. Even you can make that same argument in the music industry.
Yeah,
because I couldn't name you a single rap group that's popular today. That's like
and there are people. There's 3 people on that group. Offset and his Mingos and whatever. There's 3 people in that group. The guy who's dating Cardi B. They became famous as a trio.
That's one.
I understand, but he said he can't think of any.
3 6 Mafia still a thing?
Yeah, 3 6 Mafia.
3 6 Mafia. One of them has died.
Okay,
there's only a sixth of the Mafia.
Outkast is still together.
No, when did Outkast do an album?
That doesn't just because they're on hiatus doesn't mean that they're not
hiatus.
Together.
It's been 20 years.
Yeah, it's been what?
04?
It's just Hollywood.
Yeah, but they haven't made music on their own either.
Jeff in the comments said Keenan wants to separate himself from Kel. There you go.
He's tired of orange soda, man. He's tired.
I put the screw in the tuna. Yeah, you think it's because the studio doesn't want to pay 2 people?
Yeah, that's what I think could be.
I also think because back then, where all these comedy duos were really popular, everything was because of radio. Everything was hyper focused on radio. The new thing was radio, and it was a format for a lot of airplay. And sure, you have like podcasts and Spotify and shit like that, but it's not the same. So I think that it's a sign of the times.
Also, back then they used to do contracts. So they used to sign together so they get money pretty much the same. Now it would be different. It
wasn't pretty much. Costello was making far less than Abbott.
Right, but then they would still under contract under one studio. That's the issue. So these people, they are not contracted to studios. So if they're not a group together, then why would I do that? That's stupid. And you yourself have worked with a group of people. Do you really think you want to constantly work with someone as a duo all the time?
If you get paid a lot of money,
no.
Well, it's also the fact that these duos were very much like vaudeville style, where they would perform at these clubs, and they don't have those anymore. So, or that type of style. Sure, you have comedy clubs where you do stand up, but it's not the same as a comedy duo showing their skits off. And comedy is very, very different nowadays than it was back then.
He said Lucy and Desi.
Yeah, Lucy and Desi.
Where? I don't see these comments.
Gosh,
Drake and
come
Josh.
on.
Drake and Josh.
We can't say that.
We're not talking about that anymore.
Drake, that's your partner.
Let's not talk about that. It's terrible.
I mean, in the 90s, I think it was probably the last great decade of them, because you had Farley and Spade. They would have done more movies together had, Farley never died. I thought an underrated duo was Sinbad and Phil Hartman.
Oh my God, yes. I agree.
But have you seen House Guests?
Dude, we got to review House
Guests. What's the difference between Farley and Spade and Seth Rogen and James Franco, or Farley and Spade and Nick Frost and Simon Pegg? Simon Pegg and they became with each other. They worked with each other. They made stuff together. So that's legit, a legit duo at that point. If they're making stuff together, movies and shows. That's not. So I'm just, why was there a difference between those two?
I feel like we also have to bring up comedies, kind of like honestly a dying art right now. Like
Kevin Hart, Jeff. No, I don't. I wouldn't say that. Okay, they occasionally.
Did he say Phineas and Ferb?
He did.
It lasted a whole summer.
Harry the platypus.
Harry the platypus.
You know what? I was watching this movie. I was watching it the other day, and it had me thinking, like, all parodies now have to be like stupid. Like after the first Scary Movie, they just got like worse and worse. Like they're never, like they're not sincere anymore. They're always over the top and like ridiculous. Like,
yeah, that's what that genre became.
Yeah, it got like Mel Brooks. I thought mastered it after this movie, and then it just got, even his movies got dumb after a while. So like it's a shame that it went from being like they honor the original genre mostly, and then it was silliness added to it. Now it's just like this is where he brings up Huey.
It was Mel Brooks and John and was Abraham who did Airplane, The Naked Gun.
Yeah, see, like the Leslie Nielsen movies were great.
Don't Be a Menace.
Oh God, I love
that movie.
I was watching that movie at like 6 years old. Definitely inappropriate.
Adam Sandler.
Yeah, I feel like we all saw it too young.
Especially when they jump him into the gang. Oh, that's hysterical.
Dude, we have
the gangbang the guy. They stomp on him, the nuns rooting him.
So I never got how funny him being jumped into the gang was until I was an adult. Especially the leader is like stomping and screaming in the back. Yeah.
Do you guys know that they tried to make an answer to Abbott Costello? And you want to know who that was?
Aykroyd Belushi?
No. This was actually during Abbott Costello's time.
Oh, Lon Chaney Jr.
Lon Chaney Jr. and Shemp Howard.
Yeah, they had one movie together.
Who was the other Stooges?
No.
I don't know why they thought that was going to work out.
Yeah, who the hell came up with that? Although I do think Shemp was a lot funnier than he gets credit for.
No, Shemp was always the underrated Stooge.
Yeah, he everybody always laughed at Curly, but Shemp was kind of funny. But that I just can't even imagine that.
No, well, you don't have to. They made a movie.
No, I don't want to watch it.
It's called San Antonio Rose.
Even after Costello, you had Jerry Lewis and Dean Martin, Jack Lemmon and Walter Matthau. Ever see Odd Couple? Mm-hmm. And they did the
Grumpy Old Men.
Yeah, Grumpy Old Men. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like they do more like sitcoms. Well, they haven't really done a sitcom in a while, but they do like duos as a sitcom.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think basically we've learned that just two people will ultimately kind of grow apart from each other.
Eventually.
Like Abbott Costello, there was a money issue and all that. So
even comedy tropes, like you don't see much of these days, like a Monty Python or Kids in the Hall. Whitest Kids, they tried to make them a thing when they had that movie Miss March. And that movie completely flopped financially, and then you never heard from them again. And then recently Trevor Moore passed away, which was very sad to hear.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just comedy acts or your comedy duos or tropes you just don't see today.
Yeah.
I see it in adult cartoons like Rick and Morty.
Yeah, but animated duos, they're a thing.
Who?
They're more of a thing than live action.
Huh. Who?
Who?
You said animated.
No one can hear you. Who?
You can't hear me?
No, now we can, but you went out.
No, I said animated duos are more of a thing now than live action.
Jeff got me because they're talking about there's this. I think I've showed you the skit.
Oh, now you fucked up. Oh, is that the Abraham Lincoln skit?
We watch that like every year, and it's like watching it for the first time. It's so ridiculous.
Anybody YouTube WKUK Lincoln?
Ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. It's like somebody tell that skinny fat piece of shit. That's why I always say, "Hey, I can't watch this." It's because of that shit.
Is there any other comedy duos that you guys really like? Because Abbott Costello is my favorite, but Lauren Hardy would be up there for me.
I would argue, I think it was around the 70s that they kind of went away with it, with comedy duos.
Yeah.
What was a famous duo from the 70s? What? Oh, no. Bill Cosby and Sidney Poitier.
I don't really know if they're considered a duo. I like Art Carney and Jackie Gleason.
Okay. Well, they did 55 episodes together plus the Jackie Gleason show. So
yeah.
Well,
I feel like they would be
it's
together.
It's not like they did the same type of skit comedy that Laurel and Hardy or Abbott and Costello did. So that's why I wasn't sure if you can.
yeah.
It's not like they were vaudeville.
How about who?
What?
Tim and Eric.
Tim and Eric, yeah.
They did some movies together. Ever see the comedy? It's on Peacock.
Yes, that's true. They intentionally want to be a comedic duo.
Would you guys consider? You guys ever watched Mr. Show with Bob and David?
No.
Can't say.
No. Bob Odenkirk, David Cross. No.
I think
that's on Netflix, right?
Their remake was on Netflix. The original was on HBO Max.
I don't know. I kind of agree with Jeff. I think Keenan and Kel really are really great.
Yeah. Again, that era, that 90s was the end of it.
I'm afraid to watch Keenan and Kel now because I'm afraid I won't like it.
It's still good.
It's better than all that.
I don't know.
I haven't started those shows yet. I've seen them.
Good Burger.
Oh my god!
Pretty
I
often.
have a comedy duo.
Who?
Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's true.
Chris
Yeah.
Tucker only does one movie, and it's called Rush Hour.
I love them. Leave me alone.
I like Chris Tucker and Charlie Sheen. Ever seen them talks?
Mike Epps and Ice Cube.
Oh yeah.
Mike Epps, Ice Cube.
It'll never be the same as the first Friday.
I don't like the first Friday. I know.
What about Gene Wilder and Richard Pryor?
Yeah, they did a lot of movies together.
Hey, all right.
They did.
I've seen one movie with them together.
I'm saying there's been a lot of duos.
Yeah, but it's not like they didn't do 15 movies together.
Yeah, I would have loved to seen Aykroyd and Eddie Murphy done movies together. They were excellent.
They were supposed to do Ghostbusters together.
I mean, a lot of people liked Channing Tatum and Jonah Hill together when they were doing the 21 Jump Street and all that.
Funny. They were funny, and This Is the End too.
Yeah, they were.
So
I like Laurel and Hardy a lot. I think like if you watch that now, like I feel like some of it's a little dated, but like I can't think of the title. The one that you made me watch recently, where he thinks he's paralyzed.
I'm the one who showed you
that.
Too.
That holds up. That's
you
so
don't give
funny.
Me credit.
Like, was it you? I'm sorry. His legit, like you believe that he's angry when he finds out he can walk. Yeah. Like that's such a great.
You guys think that Abbott Costello is the one that translates the best to today?
Yes,
definitely. Yes. It definitely influenced a lot of.
It was a big influence. Yeah.
I was even gonna say to bring up like an international one, to bring up Chespirito and Ramon Valdez. They were like the answer to Spanish media to Abbott and Costello.
Oh yeah,
they never did a movie in America, didn't they? Did they? It didn't come out till years later. Like you didn't get to see the movies till like the late 80s. Oh, when they got like repackaged for like
the US release. They did a couple. They did the whole series, but they did like 15, 16 movies.
Yeah. In Italy, they have Massimo Baldi and Christian De Sica, who was in The Tourist with Johnny Depp and Angelina Jolie.
Oh.
Look at that.
That movie sucked.
I just feel like for Bud and Lou, I just feel like even today, like if you go back and watch their movies, I still feel like their jokes land. And I don't think you could say that. Like we kind of mentioned it. I don't think, in my opinion as well, I don't laugh at the Three Stooges if I put it on. I just don't. So I think.
No, I agree.
What about the Marx Brothers?
I could see somebody.
I have not watched the Marx Brothers.
That's even more dated, though.
What, Marx Brothers?
Yeah, then the Stooges. The Stooges are antiquated. The Marx Brothers are like, they were like 20 years before them.
No, they did talkies.
Because the fact that you had to call it a talkie tells you.
Hey, I gotta use the inside lingo here.
I'm just saying the fact that you called it a talkie shows how old it is.
All right. Well, that was our discussion. Oh, go ahead, Travis. He's always got to do something here.
Buster Keaton and Fatty Arbuckle.
Yeah,
before
there you go.
He got his scandal, and then he had to basically got blackballed.
Yeah, he killed someone. So yeah.
Scandal. You fucking called it a scandal.
Well, to Travis, it's still alleged.
I don't know much about it.
I'm dead.
That's the true killer of comedy duos.
I'm
Scandals
deceased.
right there. That's it.
So is that?
I don't. The
four
issue is
girls.
I don't think there is duos. I think there's groups now.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing.
It's Adam Sandler.
Adam Sandler and his gaggle of fucking friends, and then Seth Rogen and his gaggle of friends. Was just
I like Rogan and Franco. Danny McBride's with them.
Kevin Smith. I mean, not Kevin.
Kevin Smith.
No, Kevin Smith.
Yeah,
Right.
that makes sense because
There you go.
And Jay Muse. They
like
also
6
had a bunch of stuff together.
I would not. They're nowhere near any of the people we talked
No,
about.
they're not. But they're still a
They're
duo.
still a duo.
And they still did a lot of stuff together.
I won't forgive them for He-Man, even though Jason Mewes had nothing to do with it.
Smoochie Boochies.
So, all right. So that's the end of the post show. Next week, or I think we're doing Freddy vs. Jason, but the post game, we're going to talk about our favorite Twilight Zone episodes. Ooh, look at that.
I thought you were going to say Twilight movie.
Me too. I was like Breaking Dawn.
Huh?
Breaking Dawn. I thought you said favorite Twilight movie. And I was like, Bella, where the hell you been?
No, Twilight Zone. Zone.
Yeah, I had an adrenaline rush.
Breaking Dawn.
Part 2.
All right. So I'd like to remind Ellie that. All right. Never mind.
Patreon. Plus, just Chillin Network.
Yes, because that's where Travis is at.
That's where I'm at.
Behind a pay window.
We got
He's paywalled.
We got Malignant coming out.
Yes.
Oh.
Talking about fight scenes.
All right, y'all. Thank you for tuning in to our post discussion after our movie discussion of Abbott and Costello meets Frankenstein. And we'll catch you at the same time, same place next week.
You have fucked up.
Killin Podcast.
Now you fucked up. Now you fucked up.